And welcome back to another episode of Real Teachers of Atlanta. Today we're going to be diving into teacher evaluations.
Dun,
Yes.
dun, dun.
So make
Exactly
sure you subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, all of that, so you will not miss this episode.
Yes.
Let's get to it.
We got the queens in the house, y'all.
Hi, I'm Mrs. P. Smith, the Mama Bear at school, your favorite ELA and SPED teacher, but always teaching my students about business.
I'm Miss Rose, commonly known as the snarky teacher, always ready with the good candy. The kids say I'm their favorite math teacher.
After school, it's lights, camera, action. During school hours, it's Miss Carter, the life science teacher saving lives.
We got the queens in the house, y'all.
Yay! We are in that season with teacher evaluations.
It's the worst.
Let's start in the front of the room. How do we feel about teacher evaluations, Miss Carter?
I do think that they are important.
Sure.
So that you can see that your teachers are doing what they are supposed to be doing, if they're instructing the students the proper way, do they have classroom management? My issue is not with that because it comes with the job. My issue comes with the teachers that are afraid. Girl, you know the teacher coming to the classroom.
Massa.
Master coming to girl, you better. It's all of that
They
type
coming
of thing.
today. They coming today.
They coming today. They coming. I'm like, okay. If you are doing what you're supposed to be doing in the classroom every single day with the students, if you're not just sitting in the corner, just scrolling or talking to your bestie on the phone, then just chill out, relax, calm down.
I don't know. For me, the actual evaluation and then being observed, I kind of separate the two things.
Mm-hmm.
Observe me all you want. I really don't care. You come look and see. I do get what you're saying about it kind of being annoying when people are always like, oh my God, you start getting the text messages from across the room for people like, oh, they're on the way, such and coming down the hall. I'm like, I feel like you, but I honestly though, I do not like doing the like self-evaluations where you have to go in and like put your goals and the kids started here and then where they end up, that portion of the actual like evaluation. Because the number of times I've copied and pasted that from somebody else we won't talk about. But
They give it to you to copy and paste in there.
no, not for math. They didn't for me.
Oh, okay.
We was copying and pasting each other.
Because they told us it. Never mind.
Well, we would get our goals. So like the district sets the goal, like this is where you're supposed to be.
Mhm.
And then we would have to say like how far we are to this goal. And then what we're going to do to get the kids to the goal, to get them over the goal line. And I would just be like, what y'all put? Okay, put that in the same thing. Like it just, to me, for reasons I'm sure we'll discuss, but I didn't care for that part. Just come look and see if I'm doing
so
my
are
job.
you all bothered when...
Well, yeah, just come in and let me be.
I mean, they
You
come
disrupted my class.
and you know the children go be on their best behavior. You need to come in there when little Joe flipping out the chair.
Yes, come
Got the head down.
holler at me when they jumping off them desks.
Well, no, but see, it depends on the type of students that you have as well. So if you have a group of kids that are labeled gifted or they don't need a lot of hands-on attention, I mean, for those teachers, sometimes they don't really have to worry about observations, but it's the teachers that have, the kids that are, throwing stuff across the classroom. You got two kids in the corner doing God knows what. It's those particular classes that teachers are a little bit bothered by.
Yeah, but I almost think that part's unfair too, because okay, so when you have kids that are gifted and like that behavioral expectation is there, but in my opinion, that we should not necessarily separate that because some gifted students do exhibit those behavioral issues. But I don't feel like that's like
jumping off the. No, they don't.
Okay, I had my class.
Gifted? You ain't have no gifted kid jumping off of nowhere. Now, what they do, they may ask you a lot of questions.
Gifted just means I can do the work. It does not speak to behavior. And they're not jumping off, but behavioral problems, yes, fighting in class and all.
And then,
acting up.
What about the evaluators? They come to the classroom, ain't never taught a day of their life.
That part. Yes. What you evaluating? So let's back up. How do you evaluate something you've never done?
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't. So how do you get hired to
It's
do
just
that?
paperwork. It's just things for them to do to check off to say that they did it.
Check off list.
It's a check off list.
And then
that the district
and
gives
then they
us.
going around, and this would get me. Well, I got a little class now, so I see students. I don't have a class. Praise, I don't know if I can do that again. But for my teacher friends that have those 30+ kids in their classroom, you going around and you're asking the kid, "What are you doing?" They may know so what are y'all working on? You see, you got the lesson plan
At the door. In the folder.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't have it on.
I didn't know.
Some schools don't require you to put the lesson plans at the door. And then lesson plans change.
They do.
Kids, as we talked about in the previous episode, they don't know, put it in a nice, give it a nice connotation of a word. They have incompatible reading skills at this time. So therefore, you may be on a standard.
It's under construction. Girl, please. They can't read.
See, Joy.
Some of them cannot read, unfortunately.
She said
And
they
we're
have
working with them.
incompatible reading.
So when they come in and you ask them what they're reading or what they're doing, they say they don't know. Don't look at me. Don't even look this way. Because I don't. What you want me to do?
We're
working on it.
I don't care what you doing. Just always have that graphic organizer. Can't lose it, huh? That graphic organizer
can't
gonna
lose with
save you
that.
every time.
Every
cannot,
single time.
yes.
You almost gotta have a graphic organizer for everything.
You do.
I mean, it's a good tool to have anyway for
Right.
for a student, but child, Jesus, I don't even want to get into that.
So to me, evaluations, I don't like when they ask students what's going on. I also feel like it's a disruption to the class because it's you already know who's in this class. Don't act and then I also don't always feel like they're a true testament to like what that teacher, like their ability. And I really don't always understand, like, what are you observing? You're observing me to do what? Like, you want to see if I'm doing the thing.
If they should give you a contract next year. That's what
You don't have nobody to fill this spot. Just go
Don't
and
look at me.
run a bit.
That's what.
Just
That's
gone.
what.
You ain't got nobody else.
It can be low. You still come back to the classroom. If the teacher's drinking coming to work, what you think you?
That part. First of all,
evaluation.
teachers are on performance plans, getting new contract.
Okay, no, let me not say that. It's not necessarily conducive to a contract, depending on what county you're in. But it does determine, okay, does this teacher need extra professional development? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? Like I said, they are necessary to a certain degree.
Sure.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know that all my years of teaching, I don't know if it's ever been explained to me the reason why I'm being evaluated. Like, I know what the categories are.
Right.
However, I don't know if I've ever been specifically told why why am I having an evaluation if I'm proficient? You don't give me any new money. I don't get a day off. All my evaluations have been top tier.
Same.
I've gotten nothing for it.
For having proficient evaluation. Yeah, neither have I. I guess it just determines that you're doing a great job.
So
That's
for
a
the
good
ones
point.
that are not doing a great job, are they getting some type of
They get a performance
cohort.
plan.
We're
gonna swing. Oh, wait a minute.
Here we go.
Wait a minute. No, we're not gonna swing it back around to the
we gotta run
cohort.
it back.
Got to go back.
To the cohort.
Go ahead with the cohort.
Because it's still
It's still
You
in
still
there.
upset about the
It's still in
cohort? You still feel a way about that?
absolutely
As you should.
That's
As you
disrespectful.
should.
top tier teacher. Put them in the cohort.
As you should.
But
Yeah, the cohort. But so they're
I got out
supposed
of
to.
it, so.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you should have. Because please, but that's a good. I think you
But
make a good point.
but
I've never
are
been
the
told to-
teachers going to a cohort? Are they
They get
receiving some type of training?
you get a
they're
performance
not-
plan.
A who?
A performance plan.
What does that look like?
Another evaluation. You get absorbed more.
Yeah, or if it's extreme to the point where you're not performing to their standard, then you get placed in the cohort.
But
or
what is
you do
the standard? And I'm only asking to be like, let's just, like you said, keeping it funky. So if you're not giving the people that are doing the job right, anything, how are you helping me improve?
More time.
And that's it. And more kids. That's it. How are you helping? What are you doing? Because if you go to more professional development, you're actually pulling them out of the classroom more. And to your point, if you've never even told me what you're looking for or anything like that, because we go in the classroom, we teach. We teach the lesson plan that you approve to me with the materials that you approve. What is it that you are looking for me to be doing? Because I have talked to teachers who have said things like, I got docked because I was sitting down. Stuff like random stuff. So I'm like, how does that
predicated upon who's observing you? Like that's insane. Like how in the world are you gonna dock me for having a seat? Like that's just stupid. Now if you're sitting down the entire time, you don't get up to check anybody's work. Sure. Okay, yeah, but to just have a seat, that's dumb.
That's what I'm saying. But so what is the expectation? I guess like when does that get explained that says, okay, you're a good teacher if you can check these specific boxes. And student performance cannot be the thing because that's not always the teacher is not the only factor in that situation. So
that goes back to what I said about teachers feeling like they are like they have to be afraid if evaluators come to if you know that you're a good teacher, it doesn't matter. Now, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and there's something on your evaluation that doesn't reflect that, then you need to, defend it. You need to speak about it. Say, okay, hold on, this isn't right. And that, that's
one of my friends. She's a senior teacher, and she had an evaluation that wasn't, conducive to how she felt that she teaches in the classroom. Right. And she had to speak on it.
As she should.
Yeah. A lot of people don't ever refute anything. So if they'll just see, you don't get.
In fact, I'm emailing you. Yeah. I emailed a couple of principals, APs.
Oh, yeah.
I need what an evaluation at. I want to see what you wrote.
That's right.
Because first of all, you try to pop up on me.
Oh, they're gonna pop up.
Some people,
and some will tell you.
Some will let you know, hey, I'm running. We doing evaluations this week.
Right.
And for the teachers that are not prepared, because, it's some of us out there, we a little shanky. But for the most part, sometimes they'll try to pop up on you. Like the RS.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Like a food evaluation. What they call it? Keith Lee, food critical. Food critic.
Long as your evaluation don't look like a real nigga, honey,
Keith Lee.
They try to Keith Lee you.
Oh my God. Left Atlanta in shambles.
Listen.
On one restaurant. Oh, Jesus.
But the evaluators are like that. They come in sometimes just to kind of just see what you got going on. And God forbid, it's one of those days where you're dealing with that kid that just you hope was absent.
But do they ever see that kid? That's my point. Like the kids don't act to me when they see the principal or the AP coming. Right. That kid act a fool, little Timmy. He ain't jumping up and cussing like he normally do.
Right.
He's sitting there like he's a star student.
Yeah. With all his supplies.
Now,
right.
I got a big shout out to my students in the past. They always made sure that my evaluation was
top tier.
Top notch.
Tier 1, baby.
Doing
top tier, huh?
Yeah.
Act like they can read and everything.
Get in small groups.
Yeah, they know that group.
Just put your finger up on the board. Just like
they know how to look at the anchor charts that you done had in your room all semester long. Finally, they give it some play.
Then that's the ones that usually had their heads down
with the AirPods and the hoodie up.
But then they don't have none of that on. That's out.
They know all the school rules and can obey everything.
But that's when you have relationships with your students. And granted, most of the time, if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing throughout the school year, at least when the evaluator comes in, they know. Let me at least pretend like I can kind of put something together.
Well, they know it's a show too.
Yeah, the
part. Kids know it's a show too.
Yeah.
Wow. Because one thing that the kids gonna. If they like you said, they gonna have you back. So they know when the people show up. They know what to do.
They know how to act.
People.
That's how I feel. That's what they call them, the ops. That's how it feels.
That's what the kids call them.
Yes, because they know it's a show. It's a show. It's a show like we sitting on right now.
It's a play. You better
Yes.
perform.
They know what to do.
They got their script and everything.
It's a snack the next day.
Sure. Everybody get $100.
It's free day. you get $100.
Call me Oprah. Okay. It's sad.
Now, Joy, let's keep it funky. Do you really look at your evaluation? Because I don't believe you do.
I don't.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't. I've probably, since I've been a teacher, looked at it maybe once, and that was by accident.
Not that by accident.
I'm just being honest. Because I do what I'm supposed to do.
I have had a year. I didn't even turn it in.
I
didn't
I
start
don't look
to have one.
And I don't look again because it's somebody else's opinion about what they feel like I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm in the classroom every single day with these kids.
Mhm.
I mean, every single day. And I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, if it's a situation where they're like, okay, well, you can improve on this or you can do this. I have, up to this point, I've never had a PD that has improved me as a teacher.
That's what I'm saying.
Ever. So that's why I don't look at them.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's my thing, like the teachers that are on the shaky leg, how they, they don't be a nervous wreck. They are nervous wreck when they, the evaluation is not top tier performance.
Broken.
If it's one little negative thing on there, oh my God. Like it's the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't understand that.
So who opinions matter the most? Is it yours? Now, I can take criticism from people who are worthy of giving me criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm not saying I know everything, but give me something that I know I'm going to use. And I just haven't gotten that yet.
I think the teachers get the shaky leg. Sometimes you're just like, some of them maybe like are anxious or maybe they're perfectionists and they don't like, because it's kind of like your grade in a sense, and some people just don't want to be judged that way because it does feel like that.
Whose standard are you on? Is it yours?
But I think they have to get to that mindset where that's a mindset that you have to have. Because I get where you're coming from, because I think that's why we're all like, okay, like what you gonna do? Replace me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you coming in here because I already know my stuff,
together, right?
It's already put together. Why is you in here?
Right.
Unless you want to learn too.
That's what I'm saying.
Have a seat.
Or if somebody, so I've had evaluations where someone who doesn't even teach my content area was doing my evaluation.
See, that's the part.
Or and really wanted me to explain to them certain things and gave me.
You
and
don't
I
have that type of time.
I
I'm
was
trying
not,
to teach. And you want to see classroom management, classroom rules. The standard on the board. You gotta. It's almost putting. If you play sports, almost putting together a playbook.
Yeah. But what we get, so look, to your point, you want to see the standard on the board. The standard don't change all week. You want to see my rules up there. You want to see classroom management, all that stuff.
The kids don't read the standard.
First of all, that stuff been up there since the start of school year.
Let's talk about that part. Who are we putting the standard on the board for?
The evaluator, in case they come in.
Okay, so that's it, because the kids aren't reading it.
Well, the goal for the standard or
what
the
is the purpose?
Question is for the student to know what they're working on.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But how many of them actually look at it? Unless, now I usually have my kids, or what I used to do, I stopped. I would have them write it down in their notebook. But then once I found that it's pointless. It's just a waste of time. I'm like, we ain't doing that.
I used to have them measure, like I did. Let's qualify, let's quantify what it is we're trying to do.
Right.
I would try to really get them. Okay, we started here. We're trying to get to this goal.
Oh.
What does that? I was working too hard. I stopped it first year.
They don't care about that.
We was doing statistics first year. I said, oh no, it was more work for me to have all these little graphs and have them trying to figure. Master, please. They didn't care nothing about them standards.
Do all these evaluations, like we said, you be proficient. Then there's always something else.
Yeah. And stuff is constantly changing. Curriculum change all the time. Teach the math this way. Teach the math that way. Read this way. Don't read that.
And then science you in the room with the notepad.
And the red pen.
What an NJ when I need a break. What an NJ when we short and there's no substitute teacher in the classroom. Now, if you capable of coming in and evaluating, you're capable of stepping in there
and
as
being
a substitute.
There you go. Or why I can't take no bathroom break when you in here doing your evaluation. Because I tried that before too.
Because clearly if you can evaluate me, you know how to teach. Because some of y'all ain't been a teacher, but that's okay. You evaluate me on doing my job that I'm certified for. So I know the substitute teacher, you letting it come up in here. So you certified in your area, so you could be a sub too.
More qualified.
That's where the line. That's where they draw the line.
They gotta draw a line. That's where they draw a line.
We're not doing that.
That's beneath
that line.
That's below that.
Some of them, not all of them, because there are some APs that will step in.
Yeah.
We draw that line right here. I'm not doing it.
I feel the same way about instructional coaches, though. I will say there are some.
Yeah, for math,
some good ones. But them instructional coaches, sometimes I feel like they take that to their head.
You're not in the classroom.
You're
beneath them.
You come bring me some flashcards one more time.
Some of them
I would like to be one. I think I'm better than y'all too.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Some of them feel that way.
I do think they do. And I feel like sometimes you have to remember. One thing I think is that an instructional coach should be willing to sub and should spend some time in the classroom. Don't come to me trying to tell me how to teach these kids.
That's that line again.
Nothing. When the last time you did it, you was the student. I don't want to hear it.
No, nobody's doing it.
I'm not taking away from evaluations because I know on any job there is some type of merit system.
Sure, yeah.
But the thing of it is, we've been evaluating, but I don't see the merit system. Like most jobs.
You keep going back, circling back around to the reward.
She's not wrong, though.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not wrong.
Nothing.
Because
some of us don't say some of you don't even get a certificate
or a pizza party
or anything.
So you gonna get those pizzas.
So
you gonna get that pizza.
I understand some of it, but I don't think that it should be so much pressure on a teacher. And I don't think teachers. I think we do a good part of not allowing evaluation to put that type of pressure on us. But for the ones that do, y'all need to relax.
Yeah.
Because you can only do, and I say and I stress it so much, you can only do what you can do in that day. It's not coming home with me. I'm not going to stress out about it. And I'm not about to be in nobody's office because I give my 100%, during the time that I have. And, we can't cover everything. You want the small group. You want the whole group. You want the instruction, you want the activating strategy, you want all this in the lesson plan. It's cute. We put it all in there, but let's keep it funky. Yeah. We don't get to do all that all the time.
There's a disconnect between what the county wants and then what teachers are actually able to. Like, there's a huge gap in between. Like, there's no connection between that at all.
That's a whole conversation in itself right there. There is definitely a huge gap in what is expected or what people think happens in a classroom. Because I think from parents and even from administrators to teachers, you could be in the same building. I don't think that they really realize the difference. You know what I mean? Like, to your point, I don't even think they have to be district leaders. Just principal's office to my classroom. Yeah. You don't have a clue. You walk by here.
You should just try harder.
Yeah.
Just try harder.
You need to build a relationship. Relationship building fixes all problems.
What does that?
I mean, so I always say this. Model it for me. What does that look like? If you as the principal came, we had a relationship. Like, you can't ask someone to do something if you cannot teach them how to do it.
That's so
true. Model it for me. That's a form of teaching me. Model building relationships. You want the kids don't seem like they trust you. I don't trust you.
The kids definitely don't.
But I'm just saying, like, if you want me to have if that's what you want to, whatever it is that you are saying that I, as a teacher, should be doing. I feel like the person telling me this should be able to show me how to execute that thing. And if you cannot, and you can't get the results you want me to have, don't ask me to do it. Go sit down somewhere.
Just like that.
Just like that. Well, that's it. And a lot of the evaluations follow you, I guess, like any job. But like any job too, you can get somebody to do your reference. But they got the evaluations now. They got them some schools got them in the system. Like, they just go to your, I guess your Georgia department. They want to look at your evaluation. They can just go in there. and click on it.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you're, have good evaluation, especially if you're trying to do something like the Real Teachers of Atlanta.
Wink, wink, wink.
You're right. So they won't, hold something like a podcast or something like that against you.
Right.
I do think, Joya said it earlier, I'm doing my job, and I feel like I agree with you. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, what in somebody else's opinion of you it doesn't matter. If the kids are thriving and they're alive every day, I'm sending them back home.
Yeah,
we're good. Like we're doing what we gotta do.
You're growing that one kid that reads on a second grade level, and now they can finally read the paragraph that you all have been working on all year. Their confidence is better than it was at the beginning of the school year.
Yeah.
You've made some type of progress. Your data doesn't have to be this big chart and the person down the hallway, their scores are better than yours. Like, it's not a competition. It's not about the other teachers. It's about the kids at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now that's what it's about. It's about the kids.
Right.
And I think that we're getting away from that part. I think it's just so test driven, so competition driven. Who cares about evaluation?
It's the data. It's all about the data.
I feel like public education has become a business. There's an hierarchical system.
Has it ever been different?
No, but I feel like I do think that now it is blatant. Where before it was kind of like it wasn't always as obvious that the focus wasn't on like making sure the kids did something. Because now it's you can see. It's not the kids know. Like when you get, they know. Like it's just no longer. Sometimes people like to try to smooth it over. And now it's just like everybody knows. It's just right there in your face. Hey, it's a competition. Hey, she better than you. You better than this person. It's right there. I do feel like. In the past, it wasn't, maybe 20 years ago, I don't think it was the same way. It wasn't as obvious.
Well, I'm going to be devil's advocate. Some teachers, they're in the classroom. Make the lesson plans that day.
You got to be a really good teacher to be able to do that. I've done it before.
Oh, yeah. Put them on the
not every day. Watch this Khan Academy video.
That's what I'm talking about.
Miss Rose got a headache.
Oh my God.
Or you have a lesson plan and then you'll change it up and then, decide.
Yeah,
that's normal.
Yeah. I do to create something like on the spot.
I don't know.
I've done it before.
And it was fun.
The kids were thriving.
I think some of the best lessons have been
on the fly.
Yeah.
But
what do you need right
most
now?
people can't
I
do
have
that,
to be prepared. I can come up with stuff on the fly, but I just.
It's not recommended. Like they don't. You don't.
If I'm coming up with something that we're working on, what I mean, like not starting a new standard. I couldn't.
Okay, yeah.
Probably now that I'm a veteran teacher, I could, but do I want to? No.
Yeah, you want to be prepared.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can do it. I like to be prepared though, but I have done it.
We know.
That's cool.
We know.
So
and it's not a bad thing.
What y'all want to tell the teachers or the evaluators?
Just going back to what I said earlier, just relax, calm down. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it doesn't matter who is in the room. Kind of think of it as an opportunity to teach them something. Don't think it's a situation where now these people who know more than you and they're better than you, no, you're the expert in the room. You're the master teacher. You have to start thinking of yourself better. And I don't want to kind of go left into all of that, but it's how you think about yourself. So if you think that these people are smarter than you, they hold your career in their hands, which they kind of do, but just do what you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing and you'll be fine. Just relax, chill out.
Yeah.
For me, I just, want to, want to tell people don't get so nervous when they see an AP or principal walk into their classroom. You're there to service your kids. That's your job is to service. And you don't need to get all nervous and, get these anxiety attacks or whatever it is that you get when you're nervous. Just be yourself. Be the teacher that you are to your students every day. And your evaluation will be fine. Ms. Rhodes?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think the evaluators, give me something I can use. Don't just come and look at me and if you have something, if you're going to give me feedback, give me something that's actionable. That would be my suggestion. If you're going to, because you can't stop being evaluated. I mean, I agree. Teachers shouldn't really care, about that person being in the room. But at the end of the day, when I look at this, if I see that you have some feedback, I want you to be able to tell me something about it. Don't just say you're not proficient here and you have nothing to share with me. No way for me to fix it or do anything. Yeah. So that's what I would say.
And we love, we know that we're there to teach, but I don't know anybody that's not on the job with like a good incentive. So roll out the incentives.
That part.
I think those are some great motivators.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's gonna close us out?
I guess me. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Real Teachers of Atlanta. Again, you can like, share, and follow us at Real Teachers of Atlanta on everything. And we're out. Bye.
We got the queens in the house, y'all.